announcement for all speakers. May I have your attention, please? First, please rise during the announcement of the arrival of VIPs. Second, please silence your phone during the event. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, please rise. Announcing the arrival of Mr. Ridwan bin Sahid, Advisor of Law Student Society, NILEX, Mr. Zainal Abidin bin Ibrahim, Administrative Officer, Office of Equity, Student Development and Community Engagement. Please remain standing for recitation of Asma'ul Husna, followed by the national anthem, and the Negaraku and the IIUN anthem leading the way.
smart is on Saturday morning, by the way. So basically, you are basically a student leader because not many will do what you do today, what you did today. Woke up early in the morning, wear as smart as I think you look like more smart than you prepare to class, right? Pergi kelas tak pakai blazer kan? Pergi kelas pakai tie kan? Okay. So, what I'm going to say today in my short speech is that I would like to congratulate and thank all student leaders for being here because this is a commitment that all of you have shown to actually voice out the voices of your members of your respective society and clubs. And what is the purpose? It's not to condemn the management, it's not to condemn the SCC, not to condemn another society, but rather to find joint solution that you can propose to the top management. Because at the end of the day, who will make CFS a better place to study? It is you yourself. So it is our effort to come up, voice out our ideas, and make impossible things possible. So I would like to congratulate all of you for being here today. So a round of applause to yourself. And then my second point of my speech is that I want to urge the respective responsible persons, especially the secretary of this program, to pen down all the proposals, to write down all the proposals properly in form of a letter and to be submitted to the top management of this Center for Asian Studies. Because there is no use for you to deliberate not for 1 day, but for 2 days here, and yet your voice, your ideas, your concerns are not communicated to the top management. So I hope someone will take this responsibility to communicate these ideas, proposals, and recommendations to the management. And last but not least, I also want to say that in debating, in discussing, in deliberating, please practice several common sense, I believe. Among others, your adab during discussing. Yes, you might be very, you disagree with your member or your friend or your opponent. But basically kita tak ada kerajaan pembangkang yang tadi ada kan? Tak ada kerajaan pun dah bersatu sekarang. So, what more you do? So, what I urge you to do, korang tak ada siapa lawannya, korang tak ada siapa pembangkang, all of you have one purpose, which is to make CFS a better place. And to voice out your concern, your voices through this, I would say a very useful platform. Because this platform is actually given to you to formally voice out your concern and recommendation to the top management. To be honest, at first, I was not really happy when the three committees come to me and say, "Sir, when we are going to have our mock parliament?" Because I believe this kind of mock parliament requires effort and commitment not only from the organizers, but basically from all student leaders. So I'm very pleased, I'm very happy to see an almost full House of Parliament, and kita maafkan yang berada dalam kursi kosong tu. Parlimen tu selalu dari kursi kosong. But that shows not a good attitude, of course. So throughout these 2 days, try to make yourself available at all times. Try to voice out your concern on behalf of your society, on behalf of your club, on behalf of your friends who are not here today. So please use this platform effectively. And at all times, please maintain your adab, maintain your manner. As much as you disagree with your friend, as much as you hate your friend giving that point, it's so against my personal principle, you have to be here and debate and disagree intellectually. Give ideas opposing you. Dalam team skill kan, macam mana dapat argument? Aku revision sikit. Of course, you need to have your stand, provide your general premise. Then for the second paragraph, consider opposing view and give another gender specific premise. And for the third paragraph, yes, give a rebuttal to that opposing view and also another specific premise. here, whatever you argue, whatever you debate, make sure you have your data. Make sure you have your facts. Jangan berbahas dengan angin, jangan berbahas dengan satu orang, berbahas dengan fakta. Itulah yang akan membezakan perbahasan kita di Dewan yang ini dan perbahasan yang lain. Okay, so that's all from me. But before that, yesterday I did ask our dean, do you have any message for me to pass to the student? Simple je, message daripada dekan kita. I just want to remind the students and to ask them to be a good Muslim, Muslimah, whenever they are, wherever they are. So basically, with that, I officially open CFS Mock Parliament 2023 with Tafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ridwan, for a wonderful speech. Now, without wasting any time, I will pass the floor to Brother Muhammad Aiman Firdaus with Kamal Azman as the Speaker of the House to start the Mock Parliament 2023. Please welcome.
Honorable members, please rise. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wallahi wa billahi wa tallahi. I, Muhammad Aiman Firdaus bin Kamal Nur Azman, solemnly declare that I will perform my duties and exercise my powers as the Speaker of the Parliament of Center for Foundation Studies in the National Islamic University Malaysia 2023 honorably, faithfully, impartially and conscientiously. Honorable members, you may be seated. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. Honorable members, let's commence our parliament with Ummul Furqan al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. نحن نقص عليك نبأهم بالحق إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم وزدناهم هدى وربطنا على قلوبهم إذ قاموا فقالوا ربنا رب السماوات والأرض وقالوا ربنا رب السماوات والأرض لن ندعو من دونه إلها لقد قلنا إذا شططا. Kami ceritakan kepadamu hal mereka dengan benar. Sesungguhnya mereka itu pemuda yang beriman kepada Tuhan mereka, dan kami tambahi mereka dengan hidayah petunjuk, dan kami kuatkan hati mereka semasa mereka bangun lalu berkata, Tuhan kami ialah Tuhan yang menciptakan dan mentadbirkan langit dan bumi. Kami tidak akan menyembah Tuhan yang lain selainnya. Jika tidak, bermakna kami memperkatakan sesuatu yang jauh dari kebenaran. Suratul Kahfi, chapter 18, verse 13 to 14. عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان رواه المسلم. Barang siapa di antara kamu yang melihat kemungkaran, hendaklah dia mengubahnya dengan tangannya. Apabila dia tidak mampu, maka dengan lisannya. Dan apabila dia tidak mampu lagi, maka dengan hatinya. Sesungguhnya itu adalah selemah-lemah iman. Narrated by Imam Muslim, hadis number 34, 40 hadis Al-Nawawi. The Parliament of Center for Foundation Studies, International Islamic University, Malaysia, has directed the speaker to make a statement at the beginning of each session about the duties and responsibilities of honorable members. I begin by reminding honorable members of their duty to observe the standing order agreed by the House and to behave with civility and fairness in all their dealings. The behavior code applies to members as it applies to others who visit or work in Parliament, and it provides clear guidance. Unacceptable behavior will be dealt with seriously, independently, and with effective sanctions. The House asserts its privilege of freedom of speech. That privilege is enjoyed by members of Parliament only in their work in this House. As private individuals, we are equal under the law with those whom we represent. It is there to ensure that our constituents can be represented by us without fear or favor. It is an obligation upon us all to exercise that privilege responsibly. I know it can be frustrating not to be caught in a debate or to be caught very late. Prioritizing the debate's question times, urgent question and statement in which you seek to participate is one way of trying to avoid that happening. Finally, I want all members and everyone in the parliamentary community to be able to go about their work sincerely. Before moving to the first motion of the Parliament of Center for Foundation Studies, International Islamic University Malaysia 2023, I would like to express my very best wishes to all honorable members and to all those who work in this House. Honorable members, with the greatest pleasure, I would like to invite the first delegation to propose the motion before the Parliament. ويتفضل مشكور.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And Salam Malaysia Madani. I say a very good morning to all those Parliament members and the Honourable Speaker of the Hall for today. So let's begin our first motion of the day by saying, IIUL, as you can see, an international award-winning institution for sustainability. The real question is, are we living up to this title? Which brings us to our first motion of today. Next slide, please. Committing to the SDGs principles, the practice of 3R should be enhanced. So let me pass the mic back to Brother Ilyas Roman.
Yes. Thank you, Sister Najwa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I draw the attention of the Parliament today to raise the motion of committing to Sustainable Development Goals principle. The practice of 3R should be enhanced. I am the speaker, representative for MEXI, Global Scout Club, Red Crescent Club, Berkim, Lance, GCC, and Press want to address to the very concerning issue. Aligned with goals number 12, which is to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns, we want to raise this issue with the headline of the plastic consumption problem in our university. Based on our observation, every single night, the garbage is always full and packed with plastic containers. When we wake up for subuh prayers, passing the bins area, the plastic package just overflow the bin. Do you all agree? I think it as a sign of agreement. In fact, most of the waste being thrown out consists of plastic food packages from cafes. The proof is on the slide. You can see to the next slide. Yeah, we can see that the plastic packages is full with in the bin. There are literally 4 and 2 bins full of mostly plastic and polystyrene food packaging. This is a very concerning problem. Let's say half of the students in CFS, which is 2,000 students, they take away their food from cafes twice a day. And we take into consideration that one plastic packaging is 50 grams. Every student could throw 100 grams worth of plastic packaging at the end of the night. At the end of the night, if you collect all of the plastic packaging that we found on the bins, 0.2 tons of single-use plastic packaging from cafes being thrown every day. 0.2 tons of plastic packaging every day is not a matter that we can take lightly. Can you imagine? If we form more than this population, if we include the other plastic waste. Being said, IIUF is a university which focuses on sustainable development goal. This problem should not be happening in the first place. Instead, the situation really contradicts our university. To combat the issue, we present the idea of that we want to suggest to CFS needs to impose new policies to ban or reduce the usage of plastic packaging. Our mechanism is to make the students bring their own reusable food containers if they want to take away the food from the cafes. In our slang, we call it Tupperware. These reusable containers are far more better than single-use plastic. To implement this, they have to provide the same size and type of food container because of the promotion that can be taken by the students. This is to prevent the idea of the cafes to charge the students with different prices since there are different sizes of food containers. The campus should link with one high-quality supplier for this reusable container. Moreover, before you ask how about the students who may forget about their food containers in the room, here I suggest to MRC to provide an alternative for the students who forgot to bring their containers by setting a separate table beside the cafe for them to buy. Which is we may set the price RM1 ringgit for one paper packaging. MRC can place a piggy bank on the table for the students to buy the paper packaging. Hence, the money, which is the earnings that we gain from the selling of the paper packaging, could be used by the discount to provide dish soap at the pantry. Indirectly, this alternative could avoid the problem of the students leaving their unwashed dishes and containers since that is the dish soap provided at the pantry. Okay. That is the solution that we have for this issue. This solution might be a hassle for the students. However, we are the change maker for the next generation. If not us, then who? We should not tarnish our so-called institution for sustainability. We must change our mentality for the future. I assure you that if this mechanism is successfully executed, I can assure you that this will be their habits, not only during their study times, but also outside of campus, which will indirectly will be the pioneer of our country to change towards betterment and may change the culture of nation on practicing sustainable development goals. That is all from me. And next I will pass to the Sister Najwa.
Okay, so let's continue with the second problem, which is the absence of a consistent and permanent recycling system. Next slide, please. So before we go to anything, let's see the timeline of where we have planned this permanent, efficient, and consistent recycling system should be done in CFS. So first of all, the longest phase, which is phase 1, will be conducted in the Mahala, and the next will be the student center, followed by the Jurjani building, as well as the mosque. Next slide. So the mechanism for the budget that we estimate is that we need 3 sets of 3 industrial size 660 liters recycling bins. So 9 of those will total up to 6,750 ringgit. Where will this money come from? For now, we plan to have the Mahala manage everything, which brings us to our next slide, which is the mechanism for management. So who will manage the monitoring, pickups, data, and revenue for this recycling system? First of all, for the monitoring, it will be mostly Mahala fellows and principals, whereby they will need, or if they need, the aid of the MRC, HRC, as well as the ENC to cooperate in this particular system. Next, for the pickups, we are already in contact, where contact is already established with 2 companies of recycling, which is Alaflora and SW Corp. So we will obtain data from them every week, where we will schedule these particular pickups, and they will send back data to us as to how much waste we managed to collect in kilograms, as well as how much money was generated from those wastes every week. So the data management and the recording of all these information will also be conducted by the Mahala and the aids of the related societies. So next is the modus operandi mechanism, where guidelines need to be issued for proper disposal. For example, papers should be crumpled. Any plastic containers that's dirty needs to be cleaned, and any should be compressed if needed. Okay. So next is the mechanism for regulation. In order for this system to be properly implemented, there will need to be a students' regulation and appropriate fines, where we will suggest integration in the instance data module for the during the Ta'aruf week, and the discipline and consistency of the students are required. Here we will ask the cooperation of the ESC to help remind and to help conduct programs that are fun and educational, as well as that is in par with the Sustainable Development Goals. So that is all from me. I'll pass the call to Ms. Fatih. Mr. Fatih.
So I will explain about the impacts that our 2 solutions will give to CFS IIUM. So the first one.
Yes, we only have 5 minutes more for the presentation.
Alright, speaker. So first one is student will develop the habit of 3R. So as of 2022, Malaysia recycling rate is 33.2%. Of course, this is a good rate, increasing from these past years, but we need more. Recycling is very important as of in this climate change. And the second point is CFS IIUM as a benchmark for other foundations for another institutional education. When we implement these 2 solutions, it's a very good example, leading example for another education institutions. And for the third point is a long-term investment for CFS IIUM. As you can see from our recycling system, it is actually quite lots of budget that we need to provide the industrialized size bins. But for the long-term investment, not just for our environment preservation, but when we get the revenue, it's actually help the financial in CFS IIUM. And the third one, the last one, is this is our responsibility and this is our amanah. Aligned with the Rahmatan lil Alamin and the amanah as the Khalifah, we need to preserve the environment, and also we need to be part of this with this effort in combating the climate change, as we have experienced now the heat of El Nino, that because of the influence of climate change and also the increasing of global temperature, this effort we need to realize it and implement it in order to combat this climate change. So that's all from us, and right now we open the hall for questions.
Thank you to the three speakers for presenting the first motion of the House. Now, I would like to open to all honorable members for the Q&A session. Anyone who wants to have a question, you may raise your hand and we will give the microphone to you. Tentara.
Subhanallah. Am I audible? For my first question to the delegation carrying this motion is number one, charging RM1 for a one-use paper bag. I think personally it's too expensive for all the students because that's basically another fine in and of itself, and then the delegation said that they will conduct another fine that they will integrate into such statutory module. So I would like to ask, why RM1 for a one-use paper bag? And number two, what are the amount of fines that they will integrate into such statutory module in and of itself? That's my first premise, my first question. Number two is, the delegation refers to themselves as we when it comes to the ones that will be collecting data in order to carry out this motion. I would like to ask, who are we exactly? Are we referring to the delegations currently in the hall? If so, what will happen when the delegations leave CFS? Because we are no longer than 2 or 3 months here. So when the new batch comes, who will be conducting this and how?
Anyone from the presenters? You may answer your question.
Alright. So thank you for the questions. So for the first question is why we charge RM1 for the paper-based one use, right? Okay, so actually that's the alternative if the students forgot to bring their own container. So the main things that we want to cultivate the culture of bring their own food container, drink container to the cafeteria or dining hall at the mahala. So let's say we forget because it's not embedded in our self, right? So we provide the alternative of wiring it. And so when we provide wiring the container, we will never forget after that because it's cost a lot for this one use, right? So next time we will bring our own container. So this is our way to cultivate the culture in the society, CFS IIM community. Okay, so for the fine, we didn't discuss about how much we will provide for the fine, but I think it will be less than 50 ringgit because these regulations is just to encourage students to bring their own container, to use less plastics, and to be more in greener community. Okay, so for the second question, who are we? Okay, so as mentioned by representative from MAXI and GCC, we here referring to the MRC for the recycling system because we know that we are not here for a long time. For specific only a year, or for our batch is less than 2 months right now. So the one that actually permanent here is MRC principal and fellow. Sorry, it's not MRC. Sorry, principal and fellow. So for the upcoming year, when we want to implement this recycling system, they can refer to the principal and also the fellow in Mahala. Is that answering your questions? Is that answering your question?
About the for the question about the delegations that will be carrying out, yes, that is answered. Thank you very much. But as for the charges, I think it's too.
Sorry, brother. Can you stand up?
Sorry. As for the charges, I think it's too much of a change for the first time we're implementing this permanently, correct? So my suggestion would be to lower down the charges a little bit as we are carrying, because you said that there will be 4 phases, right? So why not increase the fines as we go through the phases?
Alright, we will think of that suggestion. Thank you for the suggestion, Ayu. Alright.
Thank you, Ms. Speaker. Anyone with the second question to the presenters? Yes, Mr. Speaker from Orators Club. You may ask your question.
Right. For handling the recycling system, they suggested that using the money from MRC itself, but eventually if you can see that even MRC itself have their own budget, they need to be provided to their own programs. Which means 6,750 ringgit is not a small amount of money. So therefore, is it possible for them to contribute 6,750 ringgit for this program only? So that's the question is.
Please, sorry.
Mr. Speaker, my question is related to what the representative from the orators asked. So, Mr. Speaker, everything we do, whether it's good or bad, this has a big impact for us. So, we don't want something like talking doing now. Okay? So, we need to have a real plan to that future students can get the benefit. So, what RSC, RCC, Perkin, MAS, MESI, TTC, and PRESS already have a special plan or mechanism to overcome financial problems in making this issue a success is indeed a great thing. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, both speakers. To the presenters, you may answer the questions.
So thank you for the questions. So regarding the budget that we plan to do, first of all, as we already stated, the general management of this particular recycling system is to be handled by the Mahala, which refers to the principals and the fellows of this college. So it doesn't necessarily have to use the funds of the MRC because MRC is a society. And therefore, this system will be handled by the higher ups, by the Mahala. And so if we are planning to
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Regarding to the budget provided to MRC being used for the recycling matters, it is not decided by us. It is up to the top management either to accept our suggestion to use the. We are not sure about the usage of the budget from MRC. It's because, of course, the usage of budget for society, which is MRC, is solely for MRC activity only. It is not about, this facility, which is recycling bins, should be provided to another budget, from another budget, which is from CFS welfare, to provide the mechanism of the recycling matters to make that, to support this university as the university which support sustainability and to together achieve the sustainability development goals. It is the top management which decide where we want to come the budget from. It's not from the MRC budget, not from another ABS budget, but CFS must provide another budget by this liability.
Thank you, members from delegation of NETSI. Now we would like to open to the third question from any members of the floor. Yes, honorable members from delegation of Harmony.
Yes. Since the answer given by the delegation from NC and GCC is pointing the responsibilities to the Mala office, in our side, we believe that when it comes to waste management, it is not the Mala office nor the management that involved in the CFX itself. However, I believe that it is diagnostic. So it's not a more question, but it's more a suggestion. Why don't we put the responsibility of the data and the management itself to the diagnostic, not directly to the Mala office? So.
Thank you, delegation from Harmony. The presenter, do you have any response to the suggestion from the delegation of Harmony?
I agree with the statement from the Harmony representative. Yes, this mechanism, we only discuss about the mechanism. About the execution of this planning is up to the top management. Like either they will bring outside company to provide the facilities to our university, or our university itself provide this facility. It is up to the top management. Today, here we want to discuss about the mechanism that we want to bring today. It's all for me. Another question?
Thank you, honorable members from delegation of NC. Now, sorry for ICC, the delegation from Focus ask the question first.
Stated. Thank you. I think I want to refer to the motions as asked by the representative from the METSI. I guess when we come to the motion itself, the respective members of the METSI, GCC, and also the stakeholders need to actually discuss more than just giving top management committee to decide themselves. I think it's better for the students from this part of the parliament, from the societies, and all from the representative to discuss together and create a better plan which we just sampaikan to them in order to make sure that when the management receive it, we have actually a better plan in resolving the issue. So this is my 2 cents. First, second, I think when referring to the fine, it's better for us to put high fine, because that's what the fine actually is. It is a form of positive punishment where we punish the pesalah by application. So Mr. Speaker, as I referred before, I think it's better for the fine to, if not RM1, we just lower it down, but at least at an amount, if people want to use plastic or containers, they will feel like, oh, this is actually very burdening to me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable member from delegation of Focus. The presenters, you may respond to the suggestion or just want to proceed to the next question. Okay, moving on to the next question. I think this may be the last question for the presenters. Honorable members from delegation of SCC, you may ask the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So to the delegation, I want to ask, you say that for the regulation of students, meaning that you will address the fund, right? The summon for those who are to the students, right? So we our delegation proposed that instead you are burdening students with the fining, I think you should address some more another mechanism, which, like for example, okay, when you make a mechanism which make the student more interested in doing the recycling process. Understand? For example, okay, when the students bring the recycling things, So there are some machine there when they're doing the 3 hours process, then when they get some rewards, for example, the money and so on. So instead, my point here is that you are burdening the V40 student another student with the finding. So instead, finding with higher fine, okay? So I think instead you use another mechanism which attracts more students. So that's what I'm proposing for. Thank you.
Thank you for your concern, honorable members. To the presenters, you have at least 50 seconds to respond to the suggestion.
Mr. Speaker, I am referring to the question. I try to answer for behalf of them because I think that's the thing of fine. We are fining someone in order to make them obey the rules. If katakan we give a fine amount which is very light and people can buy it. So we put kind of sanctions or enforcement to them to make sure that they will not buy or support any products that were related to the plastic kind of thing. So I think referring to brothers from the SEC representative, I think there will be a mechanism of 2 ways, which is the first is to reinforce them to obey to the law, in which we fine them. The second one is to create awareness, to create a program, to create a campaign where we will encourage the idea of make sure that we can membudayakan this kind of system on our CFS-IAM. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry.
Thank you, honorable members and the presenters. That will be the end of the Q&A session. I commend this bill to the House. The motion proposed to the House in the theme of environment and campus life, committing to SDGs principles, the practice of 3Rs should be enhanced. The presenters are from Robert Scott Clark, RCC, Perkins, Lance, Messi, GCC, and Press. Now we are moving to the voting session of the first motion of the Parliament. To those honourable members who agree to the motion, you may answer and vote as yes in the link. And to those who disagree with the first motion proposed by the presenters, you may answer as disagree or no in the link that will be provided by the Secretary and Bentara. To all honourable members, you may cast your votes in the Mentimeter link that have been provided by the Secretary and Bentara. If you agree with the motion, vote for yes. If you disagree with the motion, vote for no. And if you abstain from being voted to the motion, you may vote as neutral. And then submit to the Secretary and Bentara in the link. One delegation, each of you have one vote, not one delegation for one vote. That means, for example, IDEA, delegation of IDEA, they have 3 honourable members. That means there will be 3 votes from delegation of IDEA. Each of you has one vote, and please use it wisely. I think there are still about 20 more honorable members still has not cast their votes in the league. So please to do so in less than 1 minute. Alhamdulillah, honorable members, now we have the result for the first motion of Parliament CFS-IIUM 2023. The motion proposed before the House in the theme Environment and Campus Life, committing the SDGs principles, the practice of 3R should be enhanced. The yes 45, the no's 4, the neutral 30. Therefore, the first motion, committing to SDGs principle, the practice of 3R should be enhanced, agreed by the House. Thank you very much. Moving on to the second motion of the House. Honorable members, I would like to invite the second delegation to propose the motion before the Parliament. The second motion of CFS-IIUM Parliament is this House, Mu'tamar, suggests that the campus curfew should be revised and addressed properly. This motion is proposed by CMC, Engineers and NILEX. To all presenters, you have 10 minutes for the first presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. I bid to everyone, to every member of the Hall. This is the single most issue that always arises among students, especially for sisters: curfew. I'm standing here to discuss further about the motion of this House suggests that the campus curfew should be revised and addressed properly, which is the delegation of engineers with CMC and MIDEX. Next slide. There are three main issues regarding to our current curfew hour. First is the safety of the student, especially female students. I will give you a situation where a student would rather stay outside than coming back to CFS just because they want to avoid getting compound. This is far more dangerous than coming back to CFS. There will be negative consequences, like getting kidnapped. I know that there are low possibility of students our age to get kidnapped, but the possibility is never zero. So it is better to be safe than sorry. Also, if they are staying outside of CFS, there are possibility of them getting involved in negative social activities like doing drugs. If one of our students do drugs, they might peer pressure their friends in CFS, and all of the students might get involved too, meaning that it will eventually bring harm to both students and university name. Second is transportation. If students come back from outing after 10 p.m., transportation like Grab or Maxim are not allowed to come in. Let's say they're just coming back from home and there's only late ticket available. And they carry a lot of stuff. Imagine having to walk around and carry all the stuff from Main Guard to Mahalla. Doesn't that sound too burdensome? So our third issue would be curfew in Mahalla compound. These days, in Mahalla, sisters can only stay outside before 12 a.m. And after that, sisters need to go back to their respective room. Not all the students have the luxury of having free time. Some of the students have a very packed schedule from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 6 p.m. to 8:30 would normally be personal hour where students have their dinners, pray, and rest. So the time left is 8:30 to 12 a.m. If we do some maths, it's only 3.5 hours, which is a very short period of time. Realistically speaking, where else would be a proper place to have a group discussion if it's not in Mahalla? So, we came out with a proper solution regarding to the stated problem. First, for the transportation, for students who came back to CFS past curfew hour due to late trip, they should provide the evidence of their tickets, because in the ticket there are estimated time when they are going to arrive, Kuantan or UMP. So, the Maxim should be allowed to come in to ease the student movement. Also, there should be an option of whether they want to be escorted by the guard if they need to walk from the guard to Mahalla. This point is dedicated to students who is alone, who came back home alone. My second solution would be allowing students to have group discussion past 12 a.m. in Mahalla compound. I know some of the students is only hang out and not discussing. For them, action should be taken. But if students who want to have a group discussion, then it should be dibolehkan. As our last solution, which is the most important of all, curfew hour until 10 a.m. should be dismissed. If we compare to other universities, the average curfew hour is 12 a.m. The upper hand should consider extending the curfew to 12 a.m. This is for safety reason and a bit more freedom for the students. That is all.
Thank you, honourable members from delegation of engineers. To the other honourable members from both other presenters from CMC and Miles, you may present your suggestion. Or you want to proceed with the Q&A session? Thank you, honourable members. Now, I would like to start the Q&A session for the second motion. The House open to all honourable members to ask the question related to the second motion proposed before the Parliament. Yes, honourable members from delegation of Pembina.
Right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. also presented. Looking at the solution, which is the last one, the curfew should be extended until 12 a.m. Based on our past experience and my experience personally, I've handled so many programs which is extended until 11:30 or until 12 p.m. And according to my past experiences, we have discussed with FFP and also, and we have given them the details, our names, mahalah, and all the details of the students that is involved in the programs, and also the rehearsals, and something that is attended until 12 a.m. But after some discussion, and also we have given all the details, it is said that it is not in the system, and we still got chased away by the guards with the reasons that we have no letters, which is saying that we are allowed to do some rehearsals and also, preparations for events. So, how are the presenters are going to make sure that these procedures are going to run smoothly? That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members from delegation of Pembina. Before answering the question, I would like to remind to all honorable members, before using the word from Malay or other language, you may ask the permission from Mr. Speaker. With your permission, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. To the presenters, you may answer that question from honorable member. Yes, honorable member from delegation of MILEX.
Yes. Alright. First of all, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and from Pembina. First of all, we would like to explain again. This motion comes from we standardize the curfew student. We standardize the student curfew to go back from mahalah. It is not just specialty for programs, or if they get a special privilege or special event, but it is for standard curfew hours. Even though if the student had the discussion at SC or maybe at the place, he or she must go back to their mahalah, even though they are sister or brothers, before 12. Because as we all know, right now, only the brothers can have the curfew to go back mahalah up until 12. But the sister, it is until 10:30 or maybe 11. Paling lama dengan izin. Because of that, we are suggest this motion to make sure if any student want to have any activities outside the mahalah, can do so up until 12, because we know the duration time for the sister especially up until 10:30 is not reasonable. So we would like to suggest this motion, and how we will ensure this method can be run smoothly. I think we have the respected, I would like to say, our guards and PB right now really functioning well. So maybe they can use their powers to make sure students follow the rules. If we give them the extended up until 12, so there will be no one that can make sure this method runs smoothly. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members from delegation of MILEX for the answer. Now we would like to open to the floor for the second question to the presenters. Yes, honorable members from delegation of SCC.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright. So thank you so much to the Mr. Speakers and all the representatives. So for this motion, I would like
point, which is the first one, I would like to elaborate why the curfew hours has been with your permission, Mr. Speaker. Kenapa curfew hours dijadikan lebih awal? Due to lots of cases, which is from the previous batch, which is there has been a lot of cases of ikhtilat, and most of the students have been caught with khalwat, and then yeah, you know the ikhtilat matters, alright? So that's why the curfew sudah diawalkan, and to suggest that RDW also has the idea to extend the curfew hours, but we as the current batch cannot convince the RDW to extend due to kita pun sama je, okay? So this is like the highlight due to kenapa curfew hours of the extend. However,
Please in English, sorry.
Alright, so for the suggestion, which is like we all know when we have the program, we can like get the extend to get into Mahalah late by the approval letter. But the thing is, the procedure is quite complicated. So for my suggestion here, I would like to suggest to make the procedure of approval for getting Mahalah late not to be complicated. Like usually, for instance, for the Sierra Festival, we as a committee of Sierra Festival must have like the all the details of the members who are going to get in Mahalah late, and then like the procedure to basically the procedure that we need to deal with the MO, deal with the awesome, and all the stuff that involved for the curfew matters, including the RDW. So I think the suggestion is we only need to refer to the Mahalah, which is our MO, just saying that there has been a few students, and we list out the names or how much people from the Mahalah will come into the Mahalah late. Right? Am I like? Alright. Alright. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members from delegation of SCC. To the presenter, do you like to answer and respond to the suggestion, or you just want to proceed with the next question? Answer.
Thank you to the delegation from SCG for posing the question. So now that you have emphasized on two main points, now I would like to focus on the two main points that you have posed to us. Number one is regarding cases and on the reason why the curfew was made early from 12 to 11 as it is right now. Now I would like to pose you the question regarding ikhtilat. Is it not that ikhtilat related issues can happen even in the day, regardless of night time? It doesn't matter if it's 12 or it's 1 o'clock. Whatever it is about the nature of human itself. It can happen any time of the day. And another thing that I would like to note here is that why can't we take example from Gombak campus? Their current curfew hour is 12 a.m. And let us imagine, Gombak campus is very, very huge. There are thousands and thousands of students. So isn't the implications and the chances for multiple cases is even bigger? But they still kept the curfew at 12. So why can't we do that? Now regarding number 2, it's about getting approval. You suggested that we make it easier, right? But the main issue about approval is that again it is an unnecessary bureaucracy. There is so many unnecessary process that you have to do. You have to apply, you have to inform Mahalah and so on. You still have to wait for them to respond. And how long would it take? Imagine if there are 30, 50 students in a day that would like to do programs or discussions. So will there be 50 people PMing the Mahalah? And how fast can they respond? And talking from experience, my personal experience with that, even if you have the approval, they are difficult to believe you. So I suggest that we avoid unnecessary bureaucracy
and we just send it as the 50 hours for all students. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members, for delegation of Milex. Now we open to the next question. Yes, delegation from Pembina. Before delegation of Pembina asks his question, I would like to remind to all questioners, you must ask the question at least maximum 2 minutes, because we want to open more questions and more time for the presenter to answer the question. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, actually I want to ask you about a standing order from the about the statement from the executive side. So I want you to refer on the 23C about the question should not contain any argument, interference, opinion, imputation, inflated or misleading, ironical or offensive expression. No short question, equivalent or without information on the definition. So I want request the opinion from the speaker about the statement that has been said from the SEC. So,
honorable members, I think you may quote what kind of statement that he has supposed mentioned in his question.
The SEC had issued a malicious suspicion on the issue of the istilah. It said that the student that have a group discussion until 12 actually they are actually doing istilah like that. So I want to have your opinion about this issue. Thank you.
Order. I think for the standing order argued by the delegation of Pembina, I accepted. So I would like to remind and warning to all honorable members, please do not against the standing order agreed by the House. Sorry, and we would like to open to the next, and I think this will be the last question. Yes, delegation from the PS, sorry. Yes.
So, to be clear, I am totally agree with this motion, but I have another specific or alternative motion, which is you guys mentioned about 12 AM and so on and so forth. But my suggestion is that for those who want to enter the campus, we can limit the curfew hours to 12 AM for all students, for brothers and sisters. But for those who have activities, for example ABS or non-ABS activities in the campus, we can extend it past 12 AM, because I think when the activities itself is in the campus, the issues regarding safety and another unnecessary issues should be with your permission, Mr. Speaker, should not be dikisahkan sebab we are in the campus itself. So I hope the representative from Engineers CMC MLX can consider my idea.
Thank you, delegation from PS. Now to the presenters, you have at least 30 seconds to respond to the suggestion. Honorable members, you may respond to the suggestion.
Can I confirm from delegation PS, is that you want to extend the curfew hours from students enter the campus or enter the Muhalla?
For students to enter the Muhalla, means like students already in the campus. But as you guys have mentioned, those who have activities in the campus can be extended. So there should not be any issue.
Alright, so we will from delegation engage CMC and relax because of the short time. Maybe we can think later about the suggestion, but
I think it is quite impossible to extend more than 12 mm. But thank you for the suggestion. We will figure out later. Thank you.
Thank you to all questioners and honorable members from the education. Now I commend this deal to the House. The second motion of Parliament, Centre Foundation Studies IIUM 2023, this House, Muktamar suggests that the campus curfew should be revised and addressed properly. The proposed from CMC, engineers and leaders. Now we are to moving to the voting session. To all the participants and honorable members from delegation, we have changed the voting system, which is the link will be sent to the delegation WhatsApp group. And now the voting system has been changed, which is if you agree to the motion proposed in this house, if you agree to the motion proposed in this house, you must cast your vote as in favor. I repeat, in favor in the link of Mentimeter. If you disagree with the motion proposed before the House, you must cast your vote as against in the link. I repeat, as against if you disagree with the motion. And if you want to not involve in the voting system, you must cast your vote as abstention in the Mentimeter. So agree in favor, disagree against, and if you don't want to participate and involve, is abstention. Now the Secretary, you may share the link now. To all honorable members, the voting session is only for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, we don't accept any votes from all honorable members. Thank you. Alhamdulillah, honorable members, now we have the result of the second motion proposed before the parliament. The motion, this House Muktamar suggests that the curfew should be revised and addressed properly. In favor, agree to the motion, 48 delegations. Against or disagree to the motion, 19. Abstention from the motion, 30. Therefore, the second motion is agreed and accepted by the House. Thank you. Alhamdulillah, honorable members, we have finished the two motions for the team under environment and campus life. Now, we would like to move into the second theme of the motion, which is sports. Honorable members, I would like to invite the third delegation to propose the next motion before the House. The third motion under the theme sports is CFSIIM should create official sports club with official positions to improve sports competition and acculturation. This motion is proposed by Chitra Club. Delegation from Chitra, you have 10 minutes to propose your suggestion and presentation. Thank you.
Subhanallah. Thank you, Speaker. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to begin my speech, my motion, with a hadith. In the hadith narrated by Ibn Umar, there are three kinds of exercise ordered by the Prophet, in which he said, teach your children swimming, archery, and horse riding in Sahih Muslim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Okay. Why sports club need official position in CFS IIUM? Okay. I would like to ask you a question. Do you know Muhtar Ali? The greatest football player in Malaysia? Is he the president of FAM? No, right. Do you know Lee Chong Wei? The greatest badminton player in Malaysia? Is he the president of the Badminton Malaysia Club? No. So why in CFSIM we don't have the president of football, we don't have the president of futsal, we don't have the president of ping pong and so on? Okay, I want to address the problem here. First and foremost, the lack of clear leadership, organization and decision-making structure within the sports club. Okay, for those you know, the SCC have a Bureau of Sports, which is Khalif Zulakin, right? SCC. All the sports we need to discuss with the SCC and the sports development unit. But why they don't have an official leader? Right? Because I would like to address my personal experience during our Chitra program. We need to rehearsal, right? We need to arrange our chairs for the audience. But what sports we do in Kawa? What sports we do in Kawa Disney Hall? Badminton, ping pong. They also need to train. But during we arrange our chair, someone came to me. Are you the president of Chitra? Yes, I am. Do you have the permission to use the hall today? I say I have the official approved letter from the FSD, from the LTU, from the SPEC meeting. I have the approved letter. But they say they also have the approved. By which I say, where is your letter? But then he said, I don't know. Okay. Then I just said, just tell your advisor or your coach, you don't have the letter, you cannot use the hall. Reality first. Okay. By which I will address the second problem, unclear roles and responsibilities leading to confusion and inefficiency. Okay. We all mostly of our clubs, we want a greater audience, we want the largest audience from the students, in which the Kawa Disney Hall, which can handle 1,500 students. Alright? But the ping pong player need to train, the badminton player wants to train. But we always confused of which have the permission to use the permission seeker, the place, the tempat kita nak practice tu. Because we share our value together. Right, in such a also together we make the world a better place. But don't, if we don't solve the problem, we're not going to make this world a better place. We're just going to argue over and over, but then we don't have the solution. Which our third problem, difficulty in managing finance, legal matters, comparisons, and club records. I want to ask all of you, how many of you contribute in sports? Officially. Who the first 11 of football? No? Badminton player? Right. Malaysia, our government has been proposed the satu murid satu sukan. Right, for the primary school, secondary school. But why we stop there? Why in CFS we don't have the one murid, one sukan? In which I believe the students here are very lazy to go to the stadium, to have fun, to have sports. They just study. Do program. But they don't practice just stamina. They very unhealthy lah. Sorry. Okay. So next slide. The fourth problem: ineffective communication representation of interest. By which I believe, okay. For example, at the center of Mahalah Biruni, we have what? We have futsal court, right? But my friends already told me there are too many people. Sometimes they even, with your permission, speaker, they even gaduh dalam tempat. So tak ngerti. Okay, so if we have a solution for this, they can communicate each other. Like president of futsal, we can gather all the ABS, like, oh, you want to practice, you want to compete here. Okay, we can arrange our time and venue. Okay, the fifth problem: challenges in long-term planning, goal setting, and achieving growth. Okay, for example, I believe most of us are from Asrama, right? Yes, most of us are from Asrama. We have the ethos of the school, such as I'm from so on, and we have rugby. Rugby is our ethos. Okay, and I believe some schools have the football, for the ethos. It is the one that brings the name of the school or the college to be famous. Okay. So by the name, their school become famous. They are more believed to be good school. It's a good school. It's good environment. Okay. The sixth, unresolved conflicts among club members that I addressed in the early statements. Because Citra, we all the 30 clubs and more are under LTU, Leadership Training Unit. But why under Sports Development Unit there is just Khaliful Hakim? I just confused by that organization. So the seventh, insufficient representation of members' interest in this. Okay, this I would like to highlight the Silat Gayung Club, Karate Club, Aikido Club, Silat Cakap Hanafi. They all need the equipment, the taekwondo, they all need the equipment, the body protector, the headgear. But they don't have the proper place to train. Where they train, the open space in Ghazali, the open space in Khalil, the Kawazmi Hall. But because of for example, Citra, we always do the program in Kawazmi Hall. They don't have the place to train. I often, sorry to mention, Ustaz Zizi, the advisor of Aikido. I have been the problem with him, and it is very.
Sorry, please don't mention
anything. Sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Order, please. You have at least 1 minute more for your presentation. I think you can proceed with the solution. Sorry.
Next, the solution. So I propose establish official position within the club, such as president, secretary, vice president, treasurer, so we can collect more money. We can use that in a very good organization. Okay, so the second, clearly define roles and responsibilities for each position. So the president of football can discuss with president of badminton, such as we can organize, for example, our SMAC, but more organized. Such as, for example, in SMAC we don't have the football for, we don't have the basketball for sister, right? Okay, but almost all of my friends wants to join the basketball team of sisters, but they don't have the official competition. So the third, implement proper governance, administration, and financial management procedures. So they also need to propose to the SDU and so on. Okay, so they approve venue. Okay, the next slide. Designated representative to facilitate communication and present the club externally, so they can communicate better. Involve official position in strategic planning, goal setting, and policy development. So this also include the organizing, which is they need to do a proper. Not the captain of the team must handle the paperwork, but the presidents. So the captain can handle all the payments of the students. He or she can train, but the paperwork need to be done by the presidents. Implement conflict resolution mechanism to address disputes early, so that we don't have any problems anymore. Ensure official position advocate for members' interests and consider needs. They need to promote their sports, and they need to attract more students, so we can become healthy together. So the next slide. The mechanism. Official positions provide clear leadership and decision-making authority within the club. So we have the transparency, and we can do a better job becoming the presidents of the club. Position define assign specific roles and responsibilities to individuals. So the captain can train the students, and we can compete better, right? So governance and administration for state, ensure legal compliance, financial management, and record keeping. So this is what I highlight. Then we need to buy more equipment, such as because we are fortunate that we have SMAC recently. We have SMAC and we have SAF, so kind of Access Malaysia, that handled here. The UIA have contributed more than 400,000 ringgit Malaysia just to buy and to upgrade our facilities. But we don't need the Sukan Access Malaysia exactly to upgrade our facilities that simplify the students' life. We just need to do that, not the Sukan Access Malaysia, then we do. We need to do every year. So the next slide. The official position participate in strategy planning, goal setting, and policy making process. So, if we all know, the facility in the back of stadium is are not done yet in the making, in process making. So, if we have the position, we can urge the management to fasten the process, because I believe they have the budget. I become transparent with the need, and he said we have the budget. Well, we don't have the need to spend the budget. So, by my suggestion is by we have the official positions for the sports club, we can urge the management to spend their budget more on us, and we have the better CFS IAM in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members from delegation of Chitra. Now we would like to open to the question from any members of parliament. Now the first delegation from Mahala Biruni. You may ask your question first.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to, I think this idea is a very great idea, but I think it's lack of the mechanism. First, if we have a lot of sports, like let's say we have football clubs and badminton club, let's say, who is going to be the advisor and who is going to control the financial and so on. That's number one. Number two, I just want to, if you're concerning about the sake of, let's say, Econs want to friendly football match with Alex. So we can just go to the president. I don't think that is I don't think that there is any reason, any solid reason why we need this sports new club. Because we can just go through the presidents. And also to counter on your argument about the whole of the RSE, I think we experienced this since the problems, okay? When the MRC want to do the program, also we have the sports in the Kawa. I think we should reschedule the schedule that has been made by the ZFS. Maybe let's say in let's say the weekend, if we have the let's say we have the event, let's say Citra event. So when the event, that means that you should get the letter right, the adoption letter. But let's say if the person that let's say if the people person doesn't have letter, then the people should be that's the one that's wrong, not you. So that means that you just supporting the problem of your person. So you have the power to counter that. Oh, I have the letter. So you don't. So you have to get out, not you. So thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yeah, you may answer the question.
Thank you. But okay, the first problem advisor. Okay, so if you know, we have so many staff here, and actually we can give them the title for the advisor. Okay, this is just a suggestion. But as you know, in Gombak, they have their own coach, which is UIA sponsored from the outside. Okay, that is one more solution that I suggest. The second, you said if Focus want to have a football competition with Melex, they just need to just go through the president. That is, I agree. You just discuss on you just discuss and they agree. Okay, this Saturday, the evening, we one by one. Okay. But what I would like to highlight is the not concerning the evidence. It is just the between the football club. Okay, for example, we have the football clubs like 30 people, and the team A want to compete with team B and so on. Just the organization between the club, between the sports club, not concerning the evidence. Okay. And the third one, the letter. Yes, this I would like to mention that yes, we have the power because we have the letter, right? All of us has the approved letter. But without mentioning the name, they very with your permission speaker, very degil, okay? Very tak nak dengar cakap. They just want to write. And that's why I would like to mention in the next motion is today or today, which is the staff transparency with us. They don't have the power above us and we don't have the power above them. We all need to go through the official procedure. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Member from delegation of Interact, you might ask your question.
So my question is very simple to the digital delegation, which is they have mentioned that the students in CFS, they are not keen into the sport or even going to the stadium. But what are the solutions for those students who have class till 6 p.m. whereby between those times to Maghrib Azan is 7:50 and so on. And that very short period of time, after prayer, to buy the email, get the bar, and even they are tired because attending class lectures is very exhausting. So that leads to the, I could say, inactivity. They are not really energetic to play sport during that short period of time. So what are the solutions? What is your solution to this issue?
Thank you. My solution to the issue that the student doesn't have the time to play and they do not have the energy. But actually, we students go to sports to release stress, to release tension. Actually, they don't need to have 100% energy to go to the stadium, to play, to run, and so on. But they just need to get the fresh air. And some students, not all students have the class from 8 to 6. Sometimes they have the class until 4. And after Asar, they want to go to the stadium, and so on. So that is optional for them. Optional for the 6 p.m. students who wants to join the sports. That is optional to them. If they have the energy, they can use your permission speaker, they can turun. But kalau tak nak, they turun. We just provide the facilities, we just provide the time, provide the easiness to go down, but if they don't want to, then it's up to them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, honorable members from delegation of press, you may ask your question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Two questions for the delegation. The first one is about the mechanism of how will the student representative be elected and who will be interviewed them. The second one is I would like to point about the mechanism. From the issue covered, I believe that we just discuss about how the venue will be shared and all that, how we will settle about the venue and all that. But what is the keadaan memaksa by the agent of speaker? Keadaan memaksa for us to form a sport position. For example, we can take football. Let's say we want to make a football position, football high comp. So we are here to stay for like in range of 1 year. And we can say that in football competition, there's no official football competition among Asasi. So I do think that there will be no need to form a sport position because there is no keadaan memaksa selain daripada isu yang di-cover dalam slide which is about the venue, which can be settled by just hantar wakil from that sport. Thank you.
Okay, to answer the first one, how will be elected? Same level, same such as us. Generally, the most talented will be the captain, right? The most talented one will be the captain. But for the presidents, they don't have to be the most talented person, but they have to be the most that have the leadership. They have the communication skill, they have the leader skill to communicate with other leaders. And who will point, such as the advisor or the coach, or the SDU itself, they can point the high court. Okay, for the second question, no need. There's no need for official high court, official sports position. why I address this is because for students, we can give them more star points. And I would like to answer your question with, in your question itself, that the person will just need to communicate with the staff members and so on. Who are them? With your Mr. Speaker, diorang tu siapa? Awak tu student biasa? Awak ada jawatan apa-apa ke? They will ask it. Okay? Because my personal experience, I have experienced it myself in the first semester. But that is my problem because I have not addressed myself as President of Citra. Okay. So they need the position to tolerate with the staff, to tolerate with the management. They need the position. And actually it's good for them to improve their leadership skill, their communication skill, their thinking skill. It's for the goods for most of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we open to the delegation. Yeah.
3610 it shall be out on 3610B, which is the Citra delegation using the seditious words such as an assumption. For example, he's using the word kau siapa, and there are lots of assumptions that was created in the beginning.
Thank you. I think that is the reality. He's not make assumption, is that the reality and the facts of the situation. The senior order is rejected. Thank you. Now we open to the delegation from Amethyst.
This motion urges us to propose an official club, whereas we have an advisor, the official hierarchy of the club, and also, as mentioned by Citra, we have the CFSS staff for that to fill the role. But then, who are they, and are they eligible for that role itself? Sports club. We cannot merely, with permission, wujudkan a sports club without a true purpose. A club is false and have its specific purpose. And as mentioned by Citra, if this club is, the purpose of this club is to have more competition amongst other universities, we have inter-asasi. We have, as you all know, we have II Mustangs. For your information, for the hall, now they have the very selection itself for masuk Majlis Sukan University. So my question to Citra itself is, the formation of this official club, is it really fulfill the purpose of the club, or is this just to maintain or promote the smoothness of booking of venue? Is it we are using this club to make CFS a better place for sportsmen to compete, or the club is just for smoothness of venue booking?
Thank you. Actually, I presented your slide that we want to the, yes, for the smoothness of booking events, booking venue, and also for the clubs itself, such as, do you know how many students involved in the archery sports? Less than 10. How many students involved in the frisbee club? In the Wisdom Commission Lontar Peluru? Kita ada. We have the Lontar Peluru. We have the Lontar Chakra, Baling Chakra, and so on. So with the official position, they can advertise their sports, attract more students, and make more students become healthy. Alright, because for now, if you notice that most of our students are becoming more stressed with the education, with the academic, and so on. So it is proven by scientists that with sports we can reduce our stress. So it's for the benefits of the students also. Besides that, we can have the smoothness of the booking venue and so on and so on. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think that was the end of the third motion Q&A. I'm very sorry, but I hope after this we can open more questions to other honourable members from many more delegations. Thank you. The third motion proposed before the House is under the theme sport CFS IIUM should create official sports club with official positions to improve sports competency and acculturation. This motion is proposed by Chitra Club. To all honourable members, you have 3 minutes to cast your votes in the link that will be shared by the Secretary and the Secretary. Thank you. Alhamdulillah, we have get the result for the third motion under the theme sport. The motion CFS IIUM should create official sports club with official positions to improve sports competency and acculturation. In favor, 10, against 43, abstention 23. Therefore, the third motion has been rejected by the House. Moving on to the fourth motion proposed before the House. Unfortunately, this motion cannot be debated and be discussed by all honourable members due to absence from the delegation from ECOS. The motion is make the cost for every sport available and accessible at night. Therefore, we would like to proceed with the fifth motion of the House, improve the transparency of any venues availability in CFS IIUM and specify booking procedure. This motion is proposed by Lilac Society. 50 minutes for you. 10 minutes for you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, my fellow delegation, and to all honorable members. I represent Lilac Law Student Society would like to propose a motion which is improve the transparency of any venues availability in Center for Foundation Studies International Islamic University Malaysia and specify booking procedure. So, there are two issues that we are going to highlight for today, which is the first one, students are not informed about the availability of sports venue. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the problem of this issue? The problem is, imagine students walk from the Mahala, especially Mahala Biruni, come to the Kawarizmi Hall just to play the badminton, but suddenly the venue has been occupied by the staff. But supposedly, as we know, that the staff slot is on Tuesday. But in one case, the staff book and use the venue on Thursday. So, can you guys imagine the feelings of the student, how disappointed they are when they want to play the badminton, but the staff occupied the venue. Okay, next. So, what do we have to acknowledge here for today? We have to understand that students don't have any, students who are not part of the committee, they have, it's beyond their power to know and access about the availability of the venue. Second issue, clash of interest in booking the same venue on the same time. So, what's the problem here? The problem is, as we know, anyone can book any venue if their FSD booking is not standard with the concept, early bird catches the worm. So, what's wrong with the concept? The concept is when there's this tendency or maybe redundant booking from too many of societies. In fact, there's a tendency where the original plan, or as we know, LMNF, or any booking plan not to be followed as we planned at our first semester. Besides, changes also always occur to our program or academic schedule. And lastly, not only that, we also know that students can only consult about the venue to the officer in charge to know about the availability of the venue. But do we, I'm sorry, but what's the problem here? The problem is when it is need to be consulted during the office hour. For sometimes, students have class from 8 to 10, 10 to 12, yeah, as we know. And then, for some, maybe students go to the department, go to the office during the lunch hour. Lunch hour, of course, they have break. So, students can't do any consult during that time. So, for suggestion, we from Lilac would like to urge the management to provide a virtual platform where every student can check the availability of the venue, whether the venue is occupied or not. Because why? In the benefit, that's right, we believe that with this kind of initiative, we'll give some benefit to the students, such as first, physical booking is not required, since we can do it as online. And second thing is, students may access anytime and anywhere. It will make it easier for them to determine or make any plans or any programs or any movement from their society or any individual activities. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the presenter and honorable members from the delegation of Lilac. Now we can have more enough time to give the opportunity to all honorable members for the Q&A session. Now we open the floor to all of you. Honorable members, is there any question to the fifth motion? Yes, honorable members from delegation of SCC.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Honorable Speaker and all the delegations. So I just want to ask for the clarification first, as the direction from Alex said that there is no need for the physical booking. So I want to ask, so how the booking of venue will be conducted? How actually the online processes for the booking of venue will be conducted? As you all know, the process for the booking venue that after we get approval for the program, we need to make a copy of the approval letter and then fill in the form in FSD, get the sign from your advisor or officer in charge, and then you submit the form to the FSD. I just want to ask the clarification about how the booking process if there is no need for the physical booking. And the second, like the delegation from Alex say, the platform, they want to list a platform where the students can view the venue, which is whether it is already occupied or not. So I want to ask, the platform will be released to only to the high coms of the society that will conduct a program, or to all the students. Like the example you gave that the badminton, like the student want to play at Kawaris Swimming Hall, but there's actually staff who both on the other day that is not staff. So I just want to ask the platform to release to the high coms or to all the students, so that if they want to play badminton also, they can view the platform. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you for both questions. Now the presenter from delegation of Miles, you may answer the question.
Yes. Alright. Thank you for SCC delegation for the question. First, I would like to express that. First, regarding the issue of the method if we don't use the physical booking. First of all, I would like to let you guys think, and can you imagine if the iMaklum system had the many types and many services offered to us, such as for booking place, such as, or maybe just look on access to the student, we can check whether the venue is available or not. But I would like to stick with Izzy, ingatkan kepada CCY. First, the process of procedure for booking venue still the same, but it will be going through online platform. First. Second, yes, if we want to give the platform, or maybe we will give the availability to students to know whether the Kawah Display Hall is available or not, we must give it access to our students. But maybe it is just for but maybe it is just form that is online database where student can easily see, whether student can easily access to know. But to answer the first question, yes, it is still on the same procedure, but it is made it online. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members from the delegations of Miles. Now we will open the question from delegation from GCC.
So, hello. It's not a question, I just wanted to make a suggestion for the motion. What about, because we were planning to make it online, right? So a suggestion that we were thinking of is that, why not just make that platform modeled by the, as you guys might know, the counseling session booking method. So like, you can access iMaklum. You can even put in iMaklum even for the booking of these things. But then, if you check the counseling session website, it's very simple. You just have to request for appointment, and then you choose a time, choose a counselor, and then choose a time, and then you're done. And then you just have to come to the venue for counseling. But then for this one, why not just add a previous page before the booking where you have to fill out the details of your booking, as well as maybe upload a PDF or a soft copy of your approval that's gotten from the FSP. So the only thing that's offline is getting the approval of the the FSP thing from the advisor, and then you can continue with the booking and availability in the website. So yeah, just a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you for the suggestion. Does the Millets delegation want to respond to the suggestion or just proceed? Just proceed. Yes, delegation from CMC. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to say that we technically support this motion, as we know that we are now currently using the only Telegram groups as the source of information. But we know not all of the students are in the group, and even if they are in the group, they're still not aware about all the information. Or so, if all the information can be accessed in iMaklum, for example, it can be more, I think it's more professional and it's more easy to be accessible for all the students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does the Millets want to respond? Proceed. Yes, delegation from press.
That's one. That's correct. So earlier, delegation from Millets mentioned about the siapa cepat-cepat which they mentioned about they are opposing that idea. So my question is, if we transform to an online platform, what is the difference if kita booking benda yang sama but it still apply to the same term, which is siapa cepat-cepat?
So delegation from Millets, you want to respond? Yes, honorable members from delegation of Millets, you may respond.
Okay, he said that the online platform is accessible for the student and needs the icon who wants to any programs, right? Okay, so here is my question. Okay, what if, as you said that platform, the aim for the online platform is for to make things easier, so that what if the students who want to use the value for individual use, for example, they want to use the Hawa Reasoning Hall for playing badminton, and another organization that wants to make an important program on the Hawa Reasoning Hall, and then they need to fight each other. Instead, we know that which one more important to be helped in the Hawa Reasoning Hall, and how to solve that kind of problem.
Thank you very much. Honorable members from delegation of Millets, you may answer the question.
Alright, first of all, I will say thanks to DCC and CHC for the suggestion and improvement of ideas. First, I would like to respond from press. First question, what is the difference if we still using online platform or we just go to the FSD and book, because it is still the same concept. With cepat dia dapat. But the difference here is we all can access to maybe just one online database. We can have the same info on who is using that venue right now. So if we have all the same information, we will not have to go again 2 or multiple times to recheck with the FSD whether it is true that the booking venue, or maybe for example this exam hall is belonging to us. I would like to give you an example. It is not an standing order because it is a true thing happened. Just like yesterday for rehearsal, there are some issue which is that's one said this exam hall is going to be used for examination and test for engineering students. So we need to go to FSC multiple times to make sure and recheck if it is true. This venue is not belongs to us. So can you imagine if we all have the one information, we all get access to the same online database, we can see, or maybe staff also can see, if this venue is going to be booking by the other society or club. So they will not to do so, they will not to interrupt or maybe grab others opportunity to booking this venue. Second, regarding do the student needs to find each other, I think that's not going to be happen because everyone in this CFS already knows the personal interest should not be higher than interest of society of club which is have the approval letter or higher authority giving access to them. So I think did I answer the question or you just go and put it? Alright. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Now we move on to the delegation from Mahala Zahrawi first for the next question.
The question is that an online system are prone to have a downtime, and as we all know that the internet connection here in Singapore is not that great. And how is the delegation plan to undertake this issue that might arise from an online booking? That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable member, yes, you may answer the question.
Thank you, Mr. Zahrawi. So regarding the downtime of the internet, yeah, we have a quite poor connection here, but that's not until we cannot access the online database. Second, I think if we want to compare the downtime or the poor connection to access the online database, rather than we will going to FSD multiple times, and sometimes when we go there, there are no ones there. So I think that will not require or maybe cadangan yang lebih baik lah. So I think I will already answer.
Thank you very much. Now we proceed to the next question. Yes, delegation from ARC. Yes, you may ask the question.
I have two questions for the sessions. The first one is based on what the delegation suggested is that the booking of venue and facilities are open to all students. So my question is how should this delegation suggest to combat the saturation of squares by all the CFS students? And my second question is if the booking of venue and facilities are open to all CFS students, how would students with no positions are to apply for the venues and facilities?
Alright, so regarding thank you from LRC delegation, so I think that's the last question. First, regarding how students with no position would like to booking their venue, right? First of all, regarding the booking of venue, just like we said earlier in the presentation, they need to fulfill the requirements such as a letter, the form, and everything. So with that criteria, only them can booking the venue. So if students with no position, as long as they have the right, they have the operator, so they can access and they can booking the venue. And I think I just want to make it clear, for the student with no position, or maybe you want to give the example regarding the tower hall. The example of tower hall on playing the badminton session, it is just to make sure student knows there is any program, or maybe now is the time for the staff will be playing that. So if the student already know, so they will not go to that tower hall, which take a lot of effort, take a lot of time. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the last question and answer. Now I think we can proceed to the voting session for the fifth motion of the House. The motion proposed before the Parliament is improve the transparency of any venues availability in CFS IIUM and specify booking procedure proposed by MILEX. Now we open 3 minutes for all honorable members. Alhamdulillah, honorable members, we have received the final result for the fourth motion of CFS IIM Parliament 2023. The motion proposed before the House improve the transparency of any vendor's availability in CFS IIM and specify booking procedure proposed by Millets Society. In favor, 56, against 5, abstention 30. Therefore, the motion proposed has been accepted by the House. Thank you very much. Honorable members, we have finished two themes of the CFS IIM Parliament motion under environment and under sports theme. Now we're moving to the third theme under the academics theme. The fifth motion, the date of end of semester examination must not fall on Saturday. This motion is proposed by DKPIM. 10 minutes for honorable members.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli amma ba'd. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to everyone. Salam Malaysia Madani, salam CFS IIM, salam hidup biar ijaz. First and foremost, we are from National Union of Nation Muslim Students, or can be simplified as PKPIM, have proposed one motion in academic matters, which is the date of end of semester exam must not fall in Saturday. The reason of these issues, we wanted to align with the examination calendar implementation policy at IPP. Even though it's not obligatory for the foundation center to follow this policy, but the positive side of this implementation are really benefit to our students regarding these issues. Second, the students have enough time to make preparation for the final exam. This is because we analyzed and finally declared about 3 issues, which is the timetable of exam of end of semester exam itself are very packed. Second, sometimes the student need to attend the examination in 2 days in a row or maybe more. And last but not least, based on the timetable for the semester 1 and 2, we can see that certain students have to sit for exam in Saturday, even though it's supposed to be their holiday or time to relax. So, thus, from the issues, we propose one solution to CFS or any department that involved, which is to rearrange the schedule for end of semester exam by using only weekdays, because we believe that by giving time, especially during weekends, which is on Saturday and Sunday, will help the students to concentrate even more to their studies and achieve good marks in their final. Furthermore, as we know that foundation is the place that everything is going to be faster, including with our examination period. But with CFS considerations and all members of parliament, by making the examination periods become a little bit longer, it could bring a lot of benefits to the students, so they can fully prepare, take care of their mental health, and also achieve better results. And last but not least, any club, mahallah, or academic-based society have better solution for these issues. It would be our pleasure. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the honorable members from Society PKPIM. Now we open the Q&A session for all honorable members. You may ask your question. Yes, honorable members from GCC delegation. You may ask your question.
make our schedule on the weekday will be like more filling, and the gap will be closer than ever before. Okay, that is all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Honorable members from delegation of KKFM, you may respond or you want to proceed to the next question.
Okay, to answer that question, the question is if the examination that on Saturday will be changed or translated to the other day in the weekdays, will the timetable will be modified. So to answer this question, I just want to make this mechanism or mechanism here, which is if we eliminate or we replace all the examinations on Saturday, it will not to be replaced on the weekdays, which is from the day that they already have the examination paper. But it will, the paper on Saturday will fall on the next day, which is your examination timetable will be added one more day. So that all the examinations will be occupied only on weekdays, while the gap of each paper is not too close and suitable for all the students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Now we proceed to the next question from any delegation. Yes, honorable members from delegation of India. Yes, you may ask your question.
Yes. Responding to the answer coming from the delegations in the council. The mechanism for this motion is to basically extend the period during the examination week, right? So, personally, I think this is quite hard to accomplish because, the average period of examination week is usually 1 week or 1 week and a half at maximum right now, right? But then, if we were to extend this period just so we can leave empty space or free time during the weekends, then it would be around 2 weeks or 3 weeks at maximum. Calculating that we have 3 semesters, and then if we were to allocate 3 weeks for final exam only, that would be equal to around an extension for over a month for every batch that is to come. So how are we going to implement this for future generations?
Thank you very much.
Then I request to change the slide to the second slide, please. Okay, the slide. So if you can see that the EOS timetable is, we can see it starts at on the Wednesday and it will finish at on Friday or Thursday at the next week. So our suggestion is to replace all the examination on Saturday, which if you can see, we only have one Saturday in this timetable. Which is if we replace this day, this one day, we only add one more day. At the, for example, Friday after the Thursday examination. So the your period will be only about 1 week and a half, and not to be at 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Thank you. Hope to answer the question.
Thank you very much. Now, if other delegation want to ask question, you may do now. Yes, honorable members from delegation of GCC.
Okay, hello again. So, about this motion, again, I don't want to ask questions or anything. I just wanted to give you a suggestion to maybe improve on this motion, which is, I'd like to tell you about the preliminary EOSE schedule for this semester. examinations fall on Saturdays, but rather on arranging the subjects better. To give you an example, my schedule for the exams, I have 3 subjects, and they all fall on the second week, and I only have like 1 day gap, like not even 1 day gap to study for each subject that I'm taking this sem. But then at the same time, my roommates who are taking 4 subjects, all their subjects are in the first week. So I think in a way the management can, because they know our schedules and they know the students who are like taking these subjects, they are large, not like my roommates, they are like there's more people like them who are taking the same subjects and they're going to be taking those exams very closely, vice versa. Okay. So the suggestion is just to ask the management to better arrange the schedules and subjects so that not everything has to be done on the first week for that batch of people and everything on the second week, same, something like that. Okay, so that's all for me.
Thank you very much, delegation from GCC. Delegation from PKPM, do you want to respond or just proceed with the next question? Proceed. Okay, thank you very much. Now we proceed to the next question if other honorable members want to do so. Yes, honorable members from delegation of press, you may ask the next question.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Actually, I do agree with the GCC. Okay. First thing first, if you want to extend the period of the final exam, it's quite hard because we are CFS IIUM and we have 3 semesters to finish. So we have 3 finals instead of other IPA, which is it's just only 2 finals, maybe 2 finals because they have only 2 sems. So if you want to extend it, maybe only 1 day, you think maybe you think like 1 day is like not a big matter, but maybe we want to run smoothly the management and the education management in CFS since we have 3 sems to finish. So if you want to extend it 1 day, it might be it might affect the management of CFS IIM, and even if we feel the examination period in Saturday, we still late 2 weeks from other IPTA. So what if we extend more period for our final? What will happen for our time management in CFS IIM regarding to the final exam?
Thank you very much. Delegation from PKPM, do you want to respond?
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank to GCC and also press for the question and also say. So to explain and elaborate about what the agreement, which is the first thing is about the extension of the year of examination. Okay. So to be clear and to remind the all, which is if we end the examination at the week, at the year week, we will have 3 weeks before we enter into the next sem. So if we add this 1 more day on the after the timetable that we have been generally useful, so we will never reduce the weeks for us to get our semester, which is it is still 3 weeks and it is actually enough for us. And yes, I would. That's the first thing, and the second thing is I actually agree that the management is actually have to rearrange the subject and the week so that students should not or may not to sit for the exam for 3 or 4 days in a row, because from my experience myself, last time I have 4 papers in 4 days for a row in a row and the second week. Yes, I agree with that. So we will take that as a consideration to eliminate the papers on Saturday and bring it to the add one more day on the last day of the year's examination, and the second thing to read the subject so that one student would not have to sit the examination for 3 days in a row or more, so that we students can prepare ourselves better for the examination. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we open for the next question. I think, sorry for the issue of press. Now we proceed with delegation from Konbika now.
Mr. Speaker, Konbika wants clarification from the PKBIM. If it has the PKBIM already take note of things like the semester holiday or missing holiday that will be shortened or other factors like half week for the next batch. Because Konbika sure that the length or shortness of an exam schedule will definitely impact other things. Considering that making this advanced calendar, Konbika sure that the management, the top management has definitely taken into account other factors. That's all.
Thank you very much. Honorable members from PKPM, you may answer the question from Konbika.
To answer that question, as we said repeatedly, we will only add one more day at each of the examination in each sem. So, for example, in this last sem, our last sem, we will only, for example, we will only add one more day at the final of our final examination. So that we still have the 4 to 6 weeks to prepare for the next question. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think one last question from delegation from Writers Club, and then we proceed to the voting system.
Alright. So that's the solution of given by the PKBIM. The second solution is not in line with the academic implementation policy. For your information, according to IUM Constitution of the Academy, it is allowed to do the examination on weekends. As stated in the Article 29 Act of Semester Examination, Act of Semester Examination shall be held starting from week 15 of the regular semester. That means there are nothing that exception that examination final cannot be held or cannot be held on weekends. That's the first thing. And the second of all, allocation of final exams is only for 2 weeks. So therefore, if we were to reduce into 5 days or 2 weekdays only, it will be many more problems will be happen because we need to compile all the subjects. And the second one also, the solution given by the GCC, they are trying to patternise back. The arrangement of the paper actually is unavoidable because we change the pattern of the subject of the examination. Believe me, there will be other courses that will fight for that time of the examination. Because why? Because you can see that engineering for subject like UI2, UI1, this is a subject that will be taken by a lot of courses. Therefore, for this motion, I think we cannot do anything but just follow what our management has set out. Thank you.
Yes, remember for focus, last, at least 1 to 2 minutes.
Sorry for the interruption, Mr. Speaker. I just want to answer for PKBIM regarding the question asked by the representative. I believe he used the term constitution of the IIM academics, right? Okay, thank you. I believe also that regardless of anything that was made for us to obey, like the laws, the rule, the orders, and even the constitution, we have the power to amend the constitution in order to make sure that first. Second, I understand concern about extending the, like discretion and stuff. But also, I have several friends from United where they say when we actually don't do examination in weekends, and in weekends, they actually extend some of their cuti dengan Z itu, which then will become something bad. But like I said, we just take one day from all of the 7 days, which is only in Saturday where we will exempt any kind of examination in order to make sure that there will be no 3 days tidak ada hari yang 3 hari kita exempt dengan situ hari ketua. Maka dengan ini saya ingin untuk menegaskan kepada power. Thank you, sorry. So I want to actually menegaskan dengan with the permission of the speaker that the idea brought by the PKM should be considered heavily by the House to actually help our village. Thank you. Thank you, Reuters. Thank you, Victoria.
Okay, before we proceed to the voting, I would like to remind that the constitution of IIM cannot be amended or repealed easily using this platform, because that constitution is proposed and enforced by the Senate and also IIM President. Sorry to the delegation. Now, I commend this deal to the House. The fifth motion proposed before the House, the date of end of semester examination must not fall on Saturday, proposed by PKPIM, 3 minutes for the vote system. Alhamdulillah, to all honorable members, we have just received the final result for the fifth motion under activities, and I think it is the most crucial result for this parliament. The motion proposed before the House, the date of end of semester examination must fall on Saturday, proposed by PKPIM. In favor, 29, against 31, abstention 20. Therefore, this motion has been rejected by the House. Thus, I want to remind that I hope all participants and delegations participate in the vote because we are, for the first motion, only 79 votes. And then for the third motion, 76 votes. And the previous motion, only 74 votes. And I hope all participants take part to cast their vote because this will be our decision for the future and now, before we move into the next motion, I want to ask about the consensus agreement to all honorable members. Whether all of you want to proceed with one more motion or we want to proceed after 2 p.m. in the evening. After 2 p.m. Because there are pros and cons. If we proceed now, inshallah, we can finish it at 5 p.m. But if we proceed at 2 p.m., the problem is that we have to finish at 5:30 p.m. at least. So, one more. Now, you vote for the next motion, this motion. The motion is that whether the next motion should be debated now or after 2 p.m.